Hey guys, Ali Duzette here, and we have some crazy stuff showing up real soon with CERN and NASA and this April 8th eclipse. Are we firing rockets at the sun? Super yes. Are we starting up the Large Hadron Collider? Also super yes. What the heck? Let's talk about it. We've got a big eclipse coming up and crazy stuff is happening. Um, Oh my gosh. Okay, what is happening? CERN is firing up. They are busy trying to figure out dark matter. Where is this? They're hoping to unravel the mysteries of the universe and figure out dark matter. NASA, at the same time, is going to be firing three rockets at the sun during the eclipse. So why are they doing this? And I don't know. I've been seeing some little talk about this here and there, and I thought this is crazy. And I looked it up, and it's all real. So you can just Google that up like I did and find these same screenshots that I did. So CERN is trying to figure out dark matter, and NASA is trying to discover the effects of a solar eclipse on the ionosphere. This is from USA Today. I just took this screenshot. Barjatya and his team hope to collect data on how the sun's sudden disappearance during the eclipse creates disturbances that could interfere with communications here on Earth. Understanding the ionosphere and developing models to help us predict disturbances is crucial to making sure our increasingly communication-dependent world operates smoothly, Barjatya said in a statement. Okay, let's just hold that in the back of our minds. How concerned should we be? On the one side, people argue that the eclipse won't even be visible over CERN's Large Hadron Collider, so therefore it's not a big deal that they're starting it up on the same day. But what about CERN's mission? And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. When it comes to NASA, is this an innocent science experiment or is there something else weirder going on? Let's talk about it. What even is CERN? According to the CERN website, CERN is derived from the acronym for the French for the European Council for Nuclear Research, and they have a mandate of establishing a world-class fundamental physics research organization in Europe. Their official mission is to do world-class research in fundamental physics and unite people all over the world to push the frontiers of science and technology for the benefit of all. This is also from their page. They want to be a politically neutral voice for science, train new scientists. The big thing that's happening at CERN, the big, piece of equipment that they've got is the Large Hadron Collider. It's 7 miles long, 17 miles in circumference, and 330 feet below the surface of the Earth, right along the border of France and Switzerland. It costs about $10 billion to create, and it is the world's largest particle accelerator. The point of it is to collide atoms together and just see what happens for science. It's a super cold machine. They have to keep it super cold because they're sending atoms so fast. And why are they doing this? To create new subatomic particles. They're searching for the God particle, which they kind of found, allegedly. They're trying to create black holes on purpose. This is real. They are trying to study dark matter, dark energy, and antimatter, which are all considered separate things. They're studying gravity, which again is still a theory, and nobody really understands exactly what gravity is or how it works. They're trying to flesh out the standard model of physics, and they're literally trying to open up portals to other dimensions, and they're trying to recreate the Big Bang. This is real. They really are. Quick reminder, come hang out with me on Facebook, Intuitive Healing with Ali Duzette. That's my Facebook group. All the coolest people are in there. Okay, back to business. From the CERN website, look at this. They're trying to make little microscopic black holes, which I don't know. These kinds of things sound, I don't know, do they sound benign and harmless? Maybe to some people. To me, I'm sitting there like, really, is it really smart to intentionally try and like rip open portals to other dimensions? Like, is this really great? I'm just not sure. They are actively trying to break the natural symmetry of the universe, which, again, super benign, super terrifying, and potentially extremely dangerous. I don't know. What do you think? Why would people do this? They argue that they're nurturing young scientists and that society benefits. And as I was looking for reasons why society has benefited from this, the biggest thing that I personally found, and maybe you found other things that have come from this, in which case I hope you do share them. But the big thing that I found is that working with all of these tiny particles has led to some uh, technological leaps forward in imaging programs. Like if you need to go get like a scan for, a body scan for whatever reason, like they use some of the technology they developed from the Large Hadron Collider to, you know, further technology for imaging for people. Um, yeah, they're arguing that maybe the side projects that come up from the Large Hadron Collider will bless society. Like trying to get to space is how we invented all sorts of things, and all of these things have come from the quest for outer space, at least allegedly. And then there's this idea that if we just make a few little black holes, discover a little antimatter, then maybe we could make next level shock absorbers for your sneakers and other good innovations that we don't even know what they are yet. So you can see why there's a lot of conspiracy theories about CERN. Why are they trying to recreate the Big Bang on purpose for the low, low price of bazillions of dollars? Um, of course, how can we not mention the human sacrifice that happened at CERN? Um, to the god of destruction, Shiva. I mean, yeah, you can look all of this up. This stuff is pretty crazy. CERN says they had nothing to do with it, but there was a creepy staged stabbing of a woman inside of the building. I don't know. It's crazy, but there's a lot of talk about how CERN is actually actively involved in the destruction of the universe. So how real are the rituals that were performed there? I don't know, but something clearly did happen, and I think it's worth noting. In my opinion, I think they are trying to try and displace God from a scientific place, and I think they're just messing with general dangerous stuff. Here's some weird stuff that's worth mentioning about CERN. It was turned off once because a bird dropped a baguette on a wire. Vandalism by a weasel led to a shutdown at one point, and there is a thing called the weasel theory that we live in an alternate universe now, caused by this weasel. My official line about this is that I don't think it's worth really worrying about. If we live in an alternate universe now, well, there's nothing we can do about it now. You might as well enjoy your life. So they've turned on this collider a couple of times in the past, including in 2022. And I mean, I think it is worth noting that so far we're all alive. I mean, like the world has continued to go on. Um, will this experiment impact us all? I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out. And the fact is, we don't know how much CERN's experiments have impacted us from the past. I mean, there's just a lot going on the planet that we just are not consciously aware of that may be impacting us more than we think, or that will unfold to impact us more than we realize in the future. So let's pause about CERN and talk about NASA for a minute. Okay, this is from the NASA website. NASA to launch sounding rockets into the moon's shadow during the solar eclipse. NASA will launch 3 sounding rockets during the total solar eclipse on April the 8th to study how Earth's upper atmosphere is affected when sunlight momentarily dims over a portion of the planet. This is real. I told my husband, I was like, this sounds good, I guess, but like, couldn't they just test these rockets at night? Like, can't we just test them when the cloud covers the sun? Like, what? It seems kind of weird to me, but like, I guess I don't work at NASA, so I don't know. Maybe they know something more than I don't know, but I just thought this is a little bit weird to me. The atmospheric perturbations around eclipse path, APEP, sounding rockets will launch from this facility in Virginia to study the disturbances in the ionosphere created when the moon eclipses the sun. And I do think this is important, and this is why I took a screenshot of it, but they have previously been launched during the previous solar eclipse in 2023. So did the world end? No, it did not. Like, it is okay. I mean, I don't know. Again, there's a lot going on in the earth. There's a lot going on in the world, and we don't know all of the stories, and we don't know how we're being impacted by all of these different weird things that are happening. But it is, I think, safe to say that life went on after October 23 when they fired other rockets at the sun. It sounds really intense and crazy, but perhaps it is not as crazy as it sounds. Or is it? I saw this on a reel from some guy, and he said The, NASA is literally naming this APEP. And what is Apep? It's the Egyptian god of chaos, the sworn enemy of the sun god. So, like, what the heck? Well, we're gonna name our rockets that we're shooting at the sun after the sworn enemy of the sun. I don't know. That is a little bit weird. I mean, geez, I took this screenshot. You can just like take a screenshot of this, you go look it up, but it does appear to be true. So I'm sitting there like, okay, this is pretty weird. One other thing that this guy mentioned is that NASA, if you look it up in Hebrew, means to deceive, which is also kind of interesting. I don't really know what to make of it. I'm definitely not one that thinks that every acronym has a secret meaning. And I I don't know. I don't look at the world that way, you know what I mean? Um, my own grandfather worked for NASA and he had a lot of respect for them as an organization. And he was a really smart guy and he has done a lot of world saving stuff. He was the world's leading expert on the transportation of hazardous and radioactive material until he passed. And I don't know. I respect him a lot. I don't know what to make of it of NASA. I don't know. But um I'm holding space for anything about that. So, I don't know. What do you think? Sinister doings at play or routine science? I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. I am really interested to see how this all unfolds. Of course, there's not a whole lot that people like you and I can really do about any of this at this time, besides, try and educate each other, which is what I'm trying to do here, is just let us know about what is going on. I don't think it's necessarily worth freaking out about or losing sleep over because there isn't a whole lot that you as an individual can probably do about this. And we don't know the whole story either way, but I do think it is worth keeping an eye on and just being aware of. So I hope that this was interesting to you, and I'm really interested to see how this unfolds. Come hang out with me on Facebook at Intuitive Healing with Ali Duzette. I'll put all my links below. I think that I don't know. Hopefully my work will be helpful to you, but thank you for being here. And yeah, let's keep an eye on this. Keep me posted if you find anything interesting about CERN and NASA as we head into this eclipse. I'm really curious to see what shows up and what happens.